joining us shortly, and we'll get to understand a few things. So let me first of all say good morning to Mr. Yeboah. Good morning, sir. Mr. Yeboah, good morning. Hello? Mr. Yeboah, can you hear me? Hello? All right, so let's fix the problem and then continue. All right, so let me try now. Hi, good morning. All right, so now we can hear you. All right, so Mr. Yeboah, thanks for your time with us this morning. First of all, this story about a 53-year-old man who has been arrested because he laces, narcotics with drinks. Can you share with us what intel or what intelligence led to this arrest?
Well, good morning once again, David. And then good morning to your listeners. David, as you are aware, very much aware, the arrest wasn't done by the Narcotics Control Commission. It was rather done by the Drug Law Enforcement Unit or the police. And so there was very little I can...
But is that the norm? I'm thinking that normally you would have done this in collaboration with the police. Is that the norm? Do the police do their work separately from what NACOB and let's say the FDA will be doing?
Sometimes we collaborate, but not all the time. Not all the time.
I hear you. But we hear that these drinks and the barrels that were seized from his premises, we hear that they are laced with narcotics. Do you have any idea as to what the contents are? When they say narcotics, what type of the narcotics are we talking about?
Well, reading the story, I got to understand that they also find some leaves, in the barrel. I don't know what kind of leaves they found because they were talking about hibiscus plants and then some leaves, dry leaves, suspected to be cannabis. If it indeed the person laced or mixed the alcohol with an aquatic plant, then it's very much likely to be weed or cannabis as we call it in English. But let me say, this thing is not new in Ghana. Just that, around this time, people have mastered courage to do mass production of some of these substances and sell. Because, around 2007 thereabouts, I had information. Actually, we did some work somewhere in which we came across some persons who also mixed alcohol with cannabis. But, those people were just drinking bar operators. They will get some, weed seeds and sometimes dry leaves, just grind them and then mix them with alcohol and be selling with to some of their customers, the trusted ones. So it is something that is not new in the system. It is something that has been around. But just as I was saying, some people have now mastered courage, to produce them in large quantities.
So two questions based on how you are landing. It is not new.
Yes.
And you also go on to say that they have mastered courage to produce in large quantities. Why is this happening? If this has been with us for all these years, we should be able to clamp down on this so at least they don't produce it in large quantities. So what are we doing wrong? Why are they becoming bolder?
Nobody nobody is doing anything wrong. Okay?
Did you say nobody's doing anything wrong?
You are very much aware.
Mr. Yeboah, hold on. Mr. Yeboah, hold on.
You can listen to
No, I will listen, but I just want clarity on something.
Okay.
Did I hear you say that nobody's doing anything wrong?
Nobody is doing anything wrong. And that is what I want to clarify.
Okay.
So we are very much aware that these things are not produced in the open. People producing cannabis laced or drinks laced with narcotics normally even do some of these things in their bedroom. Okay? So without intelligence, sometimes it is very difficult. It doesn't mean that the security agencies are not working. We are working. And in any case, we are not focusing on only that drug. That is not our approach. We do our work normally as we do. And when we come across people selling drinks laced with cannabis, then we deal with them.
So, but the reason for my asking that question...
It's like people selling cocaine, people selling heroin. They don't do it in the open, they hide them. It is the same thing. So it doesn't mean anything is wrong. There's nothing wrong.
No, my concern, the reason for my saying what are we doing wrong is the fact that if we have bodies like the FDA, bodies like the NACOP, bodies like the police, whose responsibility is to ensure that these narcotics don't get into our system and let alone for them to be laced with alcohol. And now you're telling us that it is not a new phenomenon and that they have massive courage to produce in large quantities. It means that we're failed to tackle the problem.
It's not true. Sorry for saying that. It's not. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. David, there was nothing wrong. It's just like armed robbery. You know.
So if armed robbery, forgive me, Mr. But if armed robbery is on the rise, go ahead.
Can you allow me to finish?
Go ahead.
Yes, it's like armed robbery and any other crime. The police is doing everything possible to stop some of these crimes. It doesn't mean they've stopped. Okay, they've been able to reduce the crime. It doesn't mean we have been able to eliminate crime from the society completely. It is the same thing.
So you are saying that it has been police. Hold on, Mr. Ebo, I indulged you a while ago. Indulge me too, please. Thank you very much. So if you're saying that it's like armed robbery, we all know that police is trying to fight armed robbery, and like you said, we cannot eradicate it. We should be able to reduce it. If they are not able to reduce it, we will talk about it. In this same regard, you are saying that over the years, it is something that is not new to us. But over the years, they have massive courage to produce in large quantities. It should not happen. That's what my problem is.
So we are going after them. Last year, for instance, last year in January, together with FDA, we went to a place near Kodie, I think in Tribuon or so, where some people were producing such a substance, such a drink. We went after them, and we arrested 2 people. Okay, so it's not like we are sleeping. We don't care because it is being in the system or this one. No, we are also going after them. But I'm telling you, it's not like these productions are going on in the public. Okay, and so we have to, gather intelligence about. Because let me tell you how we got to know that such a production was going on around that place. We, our routine intelligence work, we were able to gather that there was a drink known as Famude. Yes, Famude. The popular name on the street is Famude. Okay. So we bought sample, we took to Ghana Standards Authority and tested and realized that indeed that drink was laced with cannabis. Okay. Then we came down, started looking for the production site. And that's how we were able to identify this production site, which we went to, and managed to arrest 2 people. So our work is ongoing. It's not like we are focusing on this cannabis-laced drink.
Hold on,
we are fighting crime. Whether it is cocaine, cannabis-laced, whatever, once we get the information, and then we're able to identify the person dealing in this, we arrest them and bring them to book.
Mr.
That's what we do.
Mr. Eba, hold the line for me because we've also been joined by Mr. Nathaniel Nkrumah. He is the original boss for the FDA. Mr. Nkrumah, thanks very much for your time with us this morning.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Mr. Eba, and good morning to your listeners. I hope everything is fine this morning.
Good morning, my brother.
So, Mr. Nkrumah, our concern this morning has to do with people who are producing drinks, and unfortunately, this time around, they're not just even using, gins and other hard, alcohol beverages. They're even using beverages like Sobolo. First of all, why are they interlacing these drinks with these narcotics?
So thank you very much, and once again, good morning to your cherished listeners. So I think the best people to ask this question is those who are doing it, their motive.
But when you arrest them, don't you ask them?
So like you already said, it will be difficult to lace solid items with some of these things. It's a bit difficult because then you need to compress and it has to go through some difficult processes. But with the liquids, it's a bit easy. So you just open up and then you put it in and then you dissolve. So probably that's why the target is more on the liquid formulations. And based on the intelligence gathering, as my colleague just said, we will unravel some of these things and then find out the source, and if there are any other ones, we go after them. Intelligence and crime is a bit complicated. So it's as and when some of them come, you find it only after. Sometimes you get intelligence and prevent some of them. So like my colleague said, it's an ongoing thing that we do almost all the time, and sometimes it's information that we get from the public, sometimes from ourselves, from the platform that we have. So it's something that we will definitely get. But when we get, it's about how we react as a country and as regulators and as industry players. Over.
Now, so when you engage, for example, when you arrest them, do you find out from them why they're doing this?
Yes. So as part of the investigation, you need to find out first of all why, and then it just doesn't end with the why. You have to go and find out if there are other sources that they are using. Do they have partners? Is it a network? So it's a holistic approach that is used by myself, and I'm sure NACOP use the same thing. The police also use the same thing.
So these days, it is very common. Listen, I was saying earlier on this morning, Mr. Nkrumah and Mr. Yeboah, that I was in the company of some friends who we went for a funeral. And at the funeral grounds, at one point in time, we decided to go cool down, at a pub. So we get to the pub, some people order their beers, others order their stout drinks. And then one amongst us says, "Oh, Charlie, what do you have? Do you have any local drink like a petition?" And then the man said yes, the attendant said yes. Omashini bitters. So he asked for one tot to be given to him. He tasted it and he said it was strong. Apparently they said it was precursor and something. But when he said it was strong, he kept drinking it and he said, I know she. So I engaged with the attendant. No, so weak akrawum. It is very common to go to beer bars and you see people have mixed all manner of concoctions and they name it bitters. Is that permissible? Is that allowed?
So thank you very much. So any formulation, whether bitters, whether drink that you formulate, you need an approval from the regulator, in this case FDA. So it's not permitted, first and foremost, to sell such a product without approval. Number two, even for those who have the approval, it is not allowed. It is restricted by law to lace it with anything that is not approved. So they are not doing it legally. It's an illegal practice. And like we always say, we wish we could be everywhere at a time, but unfortunately we can't. So it's a matter of educating the public, like the case that you give. Probably the person should have just prompted the relevant authorities to act and to move quickly. And we do swoops once in a while when our intelligence leads us. But you know how complicated it is. We can't be everywhere at a time. So we are encouraging the public that any time you go to a bar, a restaurant, and any other place that you find some of these things, please alert us. And you notice that we have just issued a press release on some of these places where people don't have certain permits. And we are going to crack down heavily on all such people moving forward. And that will include investigating, like what you've said, if it comes to our notice, and on our own as well.
Now, Mr. Yeboah, so for people who take in these drinks, who ingest these things, what would you say the risks are or the dangers are?
It's just a combination of the effects of the two substances mixed. We know alcohol is a hallucinogen, and then, cannabis too, yes. So the experience, the effects that people experience is just the effect of these two substances combined. But I must be frank with you, alcohol on its own, can create a lot of problems for you. The same as cannabis. So if you are combining the two, you can imagine.
I don't want to imagine. I want you to give me specifics. So what happens, let's say, our livers? What happens to the kidneys? What happens to the brain? Can you educate us?
Some of these substances, we have said, time without number, that cannabis can affect your liver. We even know that it can even make a person impotent. If you consume cannabis for a long time, okay, it can make you impotent. We know, cannabis as well as the alcohol can also make you hallucinate. For instance, if you are a driver and then you are consuming some of these substances, you are likely to be involved with an accident because, hallucination, you see things that you are not supposed to see, and those kind of stuff. They also affect your liver, okay, affect your lungs, and give you so many other problems. So that is it.
Mr. Nkrumah, is there anything you want to add as to the impact it has on us when people take it?
Okay, so thank you. I will even move away from too far away, even among the community, among families. If people are high, the implications are that they may see you as not a human being and attack you. Again, in the community, they become a bit rowdy, they become a bit aggressive, and for our communities as family members, it doesn't augur well for us. Even the shame it brings on you when your member becomes high and behaves in such a manner. Again, on a nation, we need to have counselors, we need to have facilities to take care of them when such things happen. So it's a big issue, and like we've said, it's a rolling story. We'll pick it up and then act accordingly. But the synergistic effect of both alcohol and, like Mr. Yeboah said, and cannabis is so dire that we need to continue educating and act swiftly. Maybe if you allow, when we come to the studios next week, we can bring pictures of the effects of some of these things on the human body, and the pictures will tell you from your head to your feet which parts of your body will be affected when you abuse some of these things that we are referring to. And I think with the pictorial evidence, it will sink more than we just saying it on radio.
I hear you.
So I hope you give us opportunity next week to probably delve further into this and then have more discussions to help alleviate this menace.
We'll create some time for you next week. But before next week, let's talk about these things that people are taking in. Are they even aware what they're taking in? Because, listen, some of them will tell you, for example, the man I was talking about who was trying the local gin, for like 3 days he was not himself because it was infused with the weed. He was not himself. He was not himself at all. So I ask, is it addictive? Can people become addicted to some of these drinks? And if yes, what help is available for them in terms of rehabs?
So let me just take it. Maybe my friend can add one. So you rightly said that, yes, it's addictive, first and foremost. Number two, it's a crime. I mean, that should be made explicitly clear for those who are doing this. To lace anything with things that people are not aware. It's called deception of the consumer. So aside the crime part, there's the health implications. Aside the health implications, there's the social implications, which we've mentioned. Aside the social implications, there's a national implication. So yeah, there are rehabs across the country where people can seek help. And I encourage each and every one of us who has a challenge with addiction to kindly seek help. Off my head, I don't remember the numbers, but it's something that we can make available maybe after this interview so that you can put it on your network for people who need help. Because I think some genuinely need help and they have no idea how to get it. And like you remember a friend who had it, yes, it can stay for quite a while because of the long-acting effect. And it is not a very interesting thing when you are exposed unknowingly or even knowingly some of these things that we are discussing. So maybe my colleague can add more.
Mr. Yeboah, if you want to add more, you can do so. Yes, but one other question. But before then, one other question I would want you to also address: the youth of today. What is with them and this sex enhancement performance? So some of them would intentionally. For my friend, he didn't know about the ingredients in the drink. But there are many other people, young people, even some adults, who go to some of these places and now only be a bit mama mache. What is with sex enhancement or sex performance? Drinks.
Just like my colleagues from ADA said, the right people to answer some of these questions are the people taking the substance. But let me try and address the first question. You were talking about why people mix cannabis or other narcotic drugs with alcohol. The issue is that when you consume a drug for some time, after some time, the body become more or less tolerant to the drug. And so you are not able to experience the same effect you were getting when you took the drug the first time. And so you want to, have the same effect or get much more stronger effect than the previous one. And that is what lead them to add some of these substances. So it is the customers themselves who normally demand for some of these substances the sellers are selling. When they come to you and they ask, do you have anything that can, that is more potent, that can at least give me certain effect? Because you're also looking for money. Definitely, they will go and ask some of these substances so that when the customers come and they are demanding, they'll be able to serve them. Okay. So it is because people normally, the body becomes tolerant to some of these drugs and they want to still continue to have the effects they were having initially. They then ask the sellers, sometimes they themselves ask the sellers to be adding some of these substances to the thing they are selling. And that's what happens. And the sellers are also looking for money. So when people come and they are asking for a particular product, they are telling you, you can even add weed to this. Some of them will do. At least they can keep their customers and get the money they are looking for.
Mr. Yeboah, how can parents help in this regard? Because we have been told that some of the Sobolo that we are drinking, they have laced some of these narcotics with the Sobolo. So somebody thinks that my child is not, smoking, or I don't smell smoke on him. But for all we know, the person is drinking Sobolo in a classroom, but it is laced with some narcotic. How do we handle that as well?
Like my brother said, we can always handle some of these issues from the supply section and then the supply side as well as the demand side. That is why Narcotics Control Commission, we go to schools, we go to churches, we go to the communities to educate the general public about the dangers of some of these substances. We believe that when we are, people are ignorant about the effects of these substances, what they are doing to their body. But when we believe that when we educate them and they get to know, the harmful effects of some of these substances, some of them will abstain. Okay? So I think that is why we do not only do supply suppression, that is arrest and prosecution. We also do what we call demand reduction by educating the general public about the dangers of some of these substances. We believe that is the only way we can approach this problem.
But Mr. Nkrumah, how about cutting off the supply chain? So if it's people who are growing weed, what measures can we put in place to ensure that, in as much as they are cultivating whatever on their farms, they are not cultivating the weed, herb as well? How about the narcotics, the ones that get through our porous borders? How do we ensure that these drugs do not come into our system?
Thank you. I probably will defer this question to my good friend on the other line. But again, we have a lot of controls. So the handling of narcotics is a bit well controlled in this country, from imports especially. But you probably if the investigation is done, it will be more of internal. So I know narcotics is mostly on their work. They are always on the move. And like we said, some of these things is about intelligence gathering. It's about the public also assisting us. So once most of them is done, you notice that I think for last year, a lot of the press release, the news was about narco going somewhere to burn some of these farms, to destroy them. So it's something they are doing very well. But like we always say, we need the populace to also help us. If you identify a place where you suspect some of these things are being done, quickly inform NACOC, or you can inform through yourself to call, because you have a bigger outreach, to call some of the people responsible. So that is how we can all approach this. But you see, you asked a question about the family. I think as parents too, we need to be very, we have to look at our children carefully. You know your child very well. The child comes home, is behaving in a bit of an awkward manner. I think we should be very much interested in finding out why. And when you investigate from your side, most of the children will tell you that, we took a drink. And when we took the drink, we started having this effect. And that can also help us to keep this. And we do a lot of public education, like Mr. Yabwa said. And then this year, we have a lot of plans in place. We are doing a lot with a lot of stakeholders, from the schools to the churches to various places of interest, to educate the public on some of the dangers that these substances cause when consumed. And we are all at risk if we don't act, because
Indeed.
of the impact on, like I said, the family, social, national, within the communities, and how these guys behave and react. And we need, as a matter of urgency, and all of us should be concerned in terms of our actions, reporting when we find anything untoward, so that we help to curb this menace that, if we are not careful, can give us a lot of problems.
Indeed, and it's already given us a lot of problems, and you say that we're all at risk. Mr. Yabwa, my final question to you, as NACOP, what would you say the biggest challenge is for you doing your job? What is the biggest challenge?
I would say logistics. That is our biggest challenge.
I see.
But like my brother said, it's not like we are sleeping on our job. We are always on the move. We have intel officers always around trying to get information so that we can act on them. If you go to the borders, we have, NACOP officers at the borders, both land border, sea border, air border. You'll find us over there. So we are actually working. Okay, we are actually working.
All right, so Mr. Yabwa is the head of NACOP in the region. Mr. Nkrumah Nathaniel is also the head of FDA in the region. Thanks very much, gentlemen. And like Mr. Nkrumah of FDA was saying, we'll find time next week and delve into more of these things. And of course, you've been in town for some months now. How well you've performed. When we get you in the studios, we'll explore all those areas as well. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much, my good friend David, and thank you to your listeners.
All right, sir. All right, so Leo Stanley is with me, and earlier on this morning we were asking a simple question as to why guys of today are so bent on getting high, or want to have sex enhanced stuff in their system. You are quite young.
I'm not young.
I said quite young. What's the drive?
The drive.
What's the edge?
It's the euphoria and the feeling. Same as alcohol, just a little bit more enhanced. I don't know if that's the right word to use. And and sometimes it's also because of the community they find themselves in, of people who are into that kind of stuff. So you engage
with students in your area.
Yeah.
And they call it, like I always say, they call it exhibit.
Yeah.
Do they know what they're doing is dangerous to their health?
No.
Do they?
Of course, no.
They don't.
They don't. They are not that way. It's a lifestyle for them. It's not a health risk or anything like that for most of them. It's a lifestyle, and it makes you an MIA guy. You are part of the crew.
Go and see the students, and some of them will stand at beer bars, buy alcohol in their uniform, and so be smoking.
Yeah.
And they're smoking without caring about who sees them.
Yeah.
Even some females, girls, are drinking and smoking in the open. Listeners, you can join our conversation as well. You can call us on 03220 83596, 03220 83597, and 03220 83598. And like I was saying, even girls 16, 17, 18 are also drinking in the open and smoking in the open.
Yeah. He mentioned this drink called Femude.
Aye.
Aye. I know a friend who got a nickname from that, your friend FD. Because of that drink. So it's been there for quite a while. Like, people have been doing it for quite a while now. And, we just look on. And sometimes, I wonder, taking the weed alone is one thing.
Yeah.
Mixing it with apoteshi, it's a whole different level. And even the effect that it has on you.
George, good morning. Hello, George.
Hello, good morning, David.
Yeah, George, good morning, sir.
Thank you. David, adding these substances to drinks, David, is a big problem. David, do you know that even this local pito, they use weed? Some of the women, they use weed to brew this pito. I tell you, weed. You ask those who drink it. They told me I've stopped taking it. David, I thought the thing was raw. So when I took it, that small calabash, within some few, all my joints became weak. And I was very, very uncomfortable. So I asked some of the boys who, have been taking it, and they say they add weed to all these drinks. So the narcotic board have a job to do. They should go and buy them and take them to the lab.
I hear you. Well, he talks about logistics as one of the biggest challenges they have. Yeah. You can also call us and join our conversation. And like I'm saying, students are drinking and smoking by the side of the road, and nobody's saying anything to them.
House parties.
Richard, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Richard, welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Okay.
You were asking your brother why the youth are interested about the sex enhancing. It's all about this herbalism, the herbal drugs. When they come on radio and TV, this is my medicine, it will enhance you to do this. So I think we should also look at from that angle that those herbal drugs, they are the people who are causing all these things.
I hear you. Thanks very much, Richard, for calling us from Aoma. So, Christoph, good morning. Hello, Chris.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, Christoph, good morning and welcome.
Yes, sir. David, I hope you are fine, sir.
Yeah, I'm well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. David, I'm doing a branch of my school around Abrefo, Sophia area. David, and there are these information centers all over. David, it's like almost every moment, the advert you will hear is sex enhancing drugs. David, from morning to evening. Look at my camera. David, what is happening? Drugs, this way we detect. The details is all over. David, what can we do to sanitize the system? Because like the youth are on this thing. David, not too long ago from the northeast region that over 80% of young men in northeast region are into alcohol. I believe you know it. I believe you know that Darren said. It is serious. And so they found it will give them issues in the future and all kinds of related issues. So I think something needs to be done to curb it. If we can't even eradicate it entirely, we can bring it to a minimum way. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Christoph there. Obrimpong, good morning. Hello, Obrimpong. I think we lost Obrimpong on the line. Obrimpong, call us back, please. Sorry about that. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
My name is Obrimpong.
Okay, so we lost it. Fine. So, yeah, Obrimpong, let's hear you.
So, first of all, we are looking at it from the wrong direction.
Okay.
Which drinking spots are selling to these students
in
the first place. That's what we should tackle. And your friend said, my gentleman there said, it's a lifetime and they don't know the consequences. Let me tell you, they know the consequences. Pick any student from the street who is drinking alcohol and tell him that does he know what he's doing is wrong. He will tell you yes. He will tell you that when I continue taking it, this is what will happen to me. But now the problem is that youth of today don't think about what's tomorrow. They don't think about the things that will be done tomorrow. They are only thinking about this moment, what they will get this moment. That's how come fraud and all these things have become very rampant, because they feel that it is best you have your time now and then the consequences. So I believe we should take it from those perspectives, and we will be able to make it.
Well, thank you very much, Obrimpong, for joining our conversation. Leo, you say you want to clarify something?
Yeah. So when I say they don't understand what they are doing, I'm not saying like they have like zero clue. By that age, SS, you know what is wrong and right, basically, like the basic things. But then when you go deeper into understanding what it can do to your health in the future and all of those things, when you talk to them, they've not really put two and two together to really know. Some of them even walk around with the quote unquote exhibit in their pocket, not thinking except the police so they don't really think about the consequences, how it will affect them socially, how it will affect them, their life, their record, everything. So on that regard,
you were talking
they don't
about
know what they are
some
doing.
parties that they organize as well.
Yeah, now if you go to some of these house parties that they organize, everything there that you would touch is laced with drugs.
Some pills, some herbs,
weed,
some powder.
Yeah. So the punch that you see in a container somewhere, or some nice wavy. So you think, this is some fruit punch that you can enjoy. It's laced with everything that you can, every wrong thing.
But are they also aware that these things, for example, so if you want to drink something to enhance your performance in bed, this can give you a cardiac arrest. I mean, heart attack, even in the act.
Yeah.
Because you've pumped so much into your system.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they don't know what they are doing. They don't understand the things that they are doing. But me, especially with boys, every time this topic comes up, I'm saying, there are a lot of these young men who probably have never touched any of these substances before, but have serious problems with their sexual reproductive health.
Yeah.
It's very common, but as that's the reason why a lot of them are easily drawn to some of these things.
Elijah says he wants to have the last bite.
Okay.
Elijah, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm very well, Elijah. So I'm told we want to be the last caller, so let's hear you.
Thank you so much. Dave, I have a brother myself. I have a brother. Who is that? But I'm on somebody said they don't know.
Elijah, your line was breaking. So start all over for us again. You have a brother who did what, please?
What I'm saying is, I have a brother. All of a sudden, my brother started taking these drugs, and then, unfortunately, he has gone mad. So when I see the youth doing this, and it hurts my soul. And I'm telling this, my brother that I'm talking about, the future was there. Everything shows he has a bright future. Unfortunately, because of drugs, he's not a mad person. So I pray that parents and school, we will sit up and monitor these things. Nowadays, obi ba ahwasem and obi asem. So obi nti obi ba nti no a whole lot of problems. Like here as a nation, Now I go back to the olden days, me will be back once some year, and Catherine said, "Can I wait, baby?" So that's it. So this is my take on this.
Elijah, thank you very much for joining us as well. We appreciate your contribution.
Good morning. I trust you are doing very well. Even this is Kwame. David, the traffic light in front of LLL has been on for far too long. It's making movement of vehicle there very difficult. And again, that stretch of road is too dirty. It doesn't look good at all.
Very well noted. We'll tell the MC for Asokwa to do something about it, and that's how we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition of Love in the Morning. Lou, you wanted to say something?
What can we say? The youth really need to, or we really need to intensify education on some of these things, because they have no idea what they're doing.
Now I'm sitting back and I'm asking myself. So we've heard stories where some students have picked daggers, knives, attacked teachers, done all manner of this to teachers and stuff like that. What I ask myself is, for all we know, they are these influences. So once the influence is there, it impairs your behavior, your judgment, and by the time you come to your senses, nobody's going to behave.
Yeah.
Well, this one says, "Trust me, Leo. When growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, when we go out to grand sales, and Zara Night Club, this is what is it?
Israelites
used to rob us, but
they rob your chain and your clothes.
But we also decided to do same without knowing it was a crime, and a lot of our friends went to jail doing this, not knowing it was robbery.
So in that space, that bubble that they live in, they do not realize how this thing is going to affect themselves. So why are you lucky? No one to me and free man. You are gone.
I hear you. All right, so there's more coming up your way shortly on the Super Morning Show. The conversation has not begun yet. It's about DNA. We want to know if you are really the father of the child a woman has brought to you, saying this is your child.
Same way.
So is it better to know or not to know? And the question is,
why shouldn't you know?
Well, why should you know?
Why should you know, say?
George, I feel say some of the things that we need who and get time.
You know, Memaya sometimes I could maybe a share too much. So many times we have seen people's lives almost come to an end.
So even if you're married, once your woman or your wife is pregnant and delivers, then you want to do a DNA?
I think, sir, it should be based on how rapid or how rampant this problem has become. No, I think, sir, doing DNA at birth would be good. It's not going to help only the men, but it will prevent swapping of babies and all of those things. So I think, sir, it should be implemented.
All right, so that's a conversation coming up shortly here on the Super Morning Show here on Love 99.5. Please stay with us and enjoy it to the max. But before then, I think we can enjoy it one more time.